When you look at the story of Shanann and Chris Watts, it's not hard to feel a chill down your spine. How could someone who seemed like an exemplary husband, a dedicated father, someone with an apparently perfect life, do something so incomprehensible? When you hear this story for the first time, the pain is instant. The question arises quickly, asterisk, asterisk, why did he do it, asterisk, asterisk. But before diving into the complexities of the human mind, let's start from the beginning. Shanann Watts, mother of 2 children and wife to Chris, was a lively woman, always sharing her love for her family on social media. Her life seemed to be a modern-day fairy tale. Then there was Chris, with his charming smile and impeccable appearance, the husband that many envied. They were the picture of happiness, but soon all of that would crumble. Now, imagine what must have gone through Shannon's mind when she discovered that her husband was involved in something that would forever change the course of their lives. Everything seemed perfect, but there's a very thin line between perfection and the abyss. How did he get there? What was going on in Chris Watts' mind? Many questions, few answers. The narrative of Shanann and Chris Watts takes us on a deep dive into the complexities of human behavior. He was a man with a family, a promising career, and the appearance of being an example for others. But behind this facade, there was something much darker. The signs of a man on the brink of emotional collapse were ignored, both by him and those around him. He didn't seek help, maybe due to shame or pride. Maybe it was a fear that the truth would crush him. Like many people living a life of appearances, Chris' reality was pushed deep down until, finally, he couldn't hold it anymore. And when the truth came out, it was a shockwave, not only to those who knew him, but to the whole world. So, asterisk, asterisk, why did he do it? Asterisk, asterisk, he wasn't just dealing with a strained relationship or financial problems. He was dealing with something much deeper. Maybe a sense of hopelessness, a desire to escape a life he felt he could no longer control. But as someone with a family and a future ahead of him, how did he reach this point of no return? Did he believe that this was the only way to start over? It's essential to understand that human behavior is not a straight line, nor simple. When someone reaches an extreme, like Chris did, the psychological factors can be immeasurable. Maybe he felt isolated, disconnected from his wife, his children, and even from himself. Asterisk, asterisk, but what led him to lose control this way? Asterisk, asterisk, the story of Shanann and Chris Watts isn't just one of tragedy and loss. It's a story about how signs can go unnoticed until it's too late. What goes through the mind of a person who makes such a drastic decision? Often, there's no one answer. It's layers and layers of experiences, choices, and, of course, failures. The problem isn't simple, and the explanation for what happened with Chris Watts can't be simplified. What we do know is that, at some point, he lost control. At some point, the darkness took over his mind, and he believed his only way out was through the worst possible act. But as we reflect on this story, an important question arises. Asterisk, asterisk, what can we learn from it? Asterisk, asterisk, as a society, are we doing enough to recognize the signs of emotional or psychological distress that might be forming? Are we willing to look beyond the surface, to try to understand what might be happening in the minds of those around us, especially those who seem to be the strongest, the most balanced? Sometimes it's so easy to get lost in the surface of things, in appearances and the idea that everyone is fine. But the real question is, asterisk, asterisk, how can you help before it's too late? Asterisk, asterisk, now, let's talk directly about what really matters. What happens when you decide to face your inner demons, when you stop ignoring them, when you stop trying to hide the flaws, the problems, and the pain? When, instead of letting the darkness grow, you allow yourself to seek help. Often, the decision to seek help can be the difference between living and losing yourself. And you, who are watching right now, Have you thought about how you could be more attentive to the people around you? We all have our own problems, our own pain, but that doesn't mean we should face everything alone. Asterisk, asterisk, helping, listening, supporting, asterisk, asterisk. These are the things that can make all the difference. We must not forget that we are human, and empathy can be a powerful remedy. Now, if you're still reflecting on this story, on the tragedy of Shanann and Chris Watts, I want you to think about the power of choices. Every action, no matter how simple it seems, has an impact. A person's life can change direction with one simple gesture, one word, or one attitude. So, asterisk, asterisk, why don't we start making the right choices now? Asterisk, asterisk, if you're interested in real stories like this, if you want to understand more about the mysteries that surround the human mind and how the behavior of each person can affect those around them, subscribe to the channel, leave your comment, and share. Each of us has a story to tell, and you're not alone on this journey. Asterisk, asterisk, let's come together to learn and grow so that tragedies like this don't repeat. Asterisk, asterisk, if you feel someone around you needs support, don't wait. Show you care. Offer help. Together, we can make a difference.